Here's one of those topics where you've probably heard a lot of nonsense online. Self-sabotage is a popular buzzword, but few people understand what it really entails. It's true that inconsistent behaviors caused by self-sabotage can really ruin your life, often in ways you might not even realize. These actions can put both your professional and personal life at serious risk. You might find yourself stuck in cycles that hinder your progress, even when you're fully aware that what you're doing is damaging. But the truth is, many people have no idea what self-sabotage really is. They don't understand how to recognize it, how to deal with it, or how it explains various daily actions that you might not even understand why you're doing. For example, think about the last time you told a lie. Even though you knew it was wrong and felt bad afterward, you still did it. Or maybe you keep repeating certain behaviors or habits, like procrastination, overreading, or avoiding difficult conversations, even though you know they harm you in the long run.
This is the crux of self-sabotage.
It's not just about making bad decisions. It's about making those decisions repeatedly, even when you consciously know better. The key to understanding this phenomenon lies in a deeper exploration of the self. The self, essentially, is your sense of who you are, not just superficially, but fundamentally. Neuroscientists and psychologists have been trying for a long time to define what it means to have a self. This isn't a simple question, and the answer may be more complicated than you think. In fact, the nature of self-identity is one of the biggest questions that modern science and philosophy have attempted to tackle. Your sense of self isn't just a set of static characteristics, like your name, your job, or your age. It's a dynamic process, shaped by your thoughts, emotions, environment, and interactions. And yet, most of us never take the time to deeply reflect on it. So, have you ever stopped to think about who you really are? Be honest with yourself. Who are you, beneath all the labels and titles you carry around? Maybe you've never really thought about it in depth, which is common. You might describe yourself by saying things like, I'm an engineer, I'm 30 years old, or I'm a lawyer, I'm 29, and I'm from the south of Brazil. But those are just facts. They situate you in time and space, but they don't define who you are. They're roles you play and contexts in which you operate, but they don't fully capture your identity. And here's the thing. I'm not here to get overly philosophical about identity or the meaning of life. This isn't a discussion about existentialism. What I want you to do is to think a little more deeply than usual. Take a moment to reflect on yourself beyond the surface, beyond the automatic routine way you might be living your life. Let's break it down. Do you really know who you are on a deeper level?
Are you impulsive? Caring?
Do you tend to lose your temper easily? Are you introverted or extroverted? Do you see yourself as empathetic, or are you more self-centered? Maybe you're an optimist, or maybe you lean toward cynicism. Do you set high standards for yourself, or are you more laid back, allowing things to flow without much pressure? These traits, your tendencies, personality traits, habits, and emotional reactions, are what shape who you truly are. The sum of these behaviors and thought patterns builds a more complete picture of the real you. And when this self, or really, these various aspects of yourself, is placed in situations that don't align with your true nature, it starts to create conflict. This conflict, when left unchecked, often results in a feeling of self-sabotage. So, what does self-sabotage look like in practice?
It can take many forms.
For some, it's procrastination, putting off important tasks because they feel overwhelming. For others, it might be overindulgence in unhealthy behaviors like eating junk food, drinking too much alcohol, or even toxic relationships. And then there are the more subtle forms of self-sabotage, like always doubting yourself, refusing to take risks, or constantly criticizing your own work, no matter how well you've done. In all these cases, there's a mismatch between who you are, what you want to achieve, and the circumstances in which you find yourself. Let me give you a concrete example. Imagine you want to start eating healthier and cut down on alcohol. You know these habits would improve your energy levels, mood, and overall health. But at the same time, you're a person with a naturally impulsive personality. You've never really stopped to think about it because, like most people, you're living on autopilot. You go through the motions of your daily routine without much reflection on your deeper patterns. So, despite your desire to improve your health, you continue hanging out with friends who drink regularly and eat unhealthy foods in front of you. In that environment, with your impulsive nature, resisting temptation becomes nearly impossible. As a result, you start to feel like you're sabotaging yourself. It's that feeling of inner conflict, wanting to achieve something, but repeatedly failing to do so because the actions you take contradict your goals. You might say, I really want to lose weight and stop drinking, but I just can't seem to stick to it. It's like I keep sabotaging myself.
And in a way, you're right.
You are sabotaging yourself, but not because of some mysterious force or a lack of willpower. It's because your impulsive tendencies are clashing with your environment, and your environment is not supporting the goals you've set. And this concept applies to more than just dieting or cutting down on alcohol. It can be seen in many areas of life.
Take focus, for instance.
Maybe you're someone who struggles with attention, and you find it hard to concentrate on tasks for extended periods. You might need a quieter, more structured environment to get things done. But instead, you find yourself working in a chaotic space. Maybe your desk is cluttered, your phone is constantly lighting up with notifications, and there's always some background noise. Under these conditions, it's no wonder you struggle to focus and finish your work. The mismatch between your personal needs and your environment is creating a sense of frustration and, again, the feeling of self-sabotage. This is why it's so crucial to understand who you truly are. And I won't lie, that's not an easy task. Maybe you won't even want to start the process of self-reflection because, let's face it, it can be uncomfortable. Digging into your inner self, examining your patterns, and questioning your long-held assumptions about who you are takes courage. And besides, there's always something else to distract you: a funny video, a notification on your phone, or some other task that feels more urgent. But if you truly want to break free from self-sabotage, the first step is self-awareness. One way to begin is by self-analyzing. Ask yourself hard questions. Reflect on your past behaviors.
Look for patterns.
Are there situations where you consistently fall short of your goals? Do you notice yourself repeating certain mistakes? If so, what triggers these behaviors? Do you tend to self-sabotage more in certain environments or around particular people? Of course, the ideal way to explore these questions is through therapy. A professional can guide you through the process of self-discovery and help you uncover the root causes of your self-sabotaging tendencies. However, I understand that not everyone has access to therapy. It can be expensive, time-consuming, or just not feasible for everyone. But even without therapy, the simple act of self-reflection can take you a long way. Trying to understand yourself better can already put you ahead of many people who live on autopilot, never questioning their behaviors or looking for ways to improve.